Hi, I'm Andrea, and I own a business called End Your Diet and Trust Yourself. And in this business, I focus on helping people who are sick of dieting lose weight by helping them relearn how to listen to their own body's cues of when to eat and what to eat and all that good stuff instead of following a diet, which is restrictive. So that is my specialty, but I also have like extras that I enjoy doing, such as my YouTube channel because it's a chance for me to share my personal stories. I call it my online blog. And I like to share my own personal stories that do pertain to health. And I just really enjoy it because it's a chance to have fun with it and interact with people. So today, my story is a little embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. And it's about drinking enough water. And I call it a car accident. And there's definitely a moral to the story. So, I used to live in Ohio, which is really weird to say. I just moved to North Carolina like 4 days ago, and I went to Kent State. Go Flashes! So, my last semester at Kent sucked. I commuted from home, which was an hour away. So, I would work out in the morning because after I got back from school, I would usually have to go to work, so I didn't have time. I'd wake up at 5 to work out. And I'm always trying to improve my health in some way. So I wanted to increase my water intake because I was only drinking about 64 ounces of water and I do intense workouts. And at the time, I was doing Insanity. So 64 ounces was not enough. I was feeling dehydrated. So I'm a little extreme. And I was like, oh, well, today I'm going to go from 64 to 100 ounces instead. Like, I'm going for it. Yeah. So, I decided to drink 100 ounces. It was a Monday, and I worked out, drank about 50 ounces of water. I wasn't worried about having to go to the bathroom on the way to school because I have a fairly large bladder, never have a problem really, and I never had to go during the drive. So I didn't worry about it at all. All right. So I'm in the car. I'm about 3 miles from getting off the freeway. So I'm 45 minutes into the drive. And I'm rocking out to Maroon 5's album. I think I listened to that album every day for the whole semester. I just couldn't get over it. So I'm singing and I'm like, sugar. And then my car goes, bam. And I'm like, yes, please. Oh. And I pull over and my car went from 75 to 50 miles per hour in like 4 seconds. Thank God no one was right behind me. So I'm sitting on the side of the road and I don't handle stress very well. If you know me, you know that's true. So I'm like, great. What am I supposed to do? And it's Northeast Ohio in the winter, so it was naturally negative 15 degrees. Not kidding. So I'm sitting there, call AAA, no one answers me. Call 4 more times. Finally, after being on hold for 20 minutes, this dude answers and he's like, oh yeah, we can help you, but like since the weather's really bad, you're gonna be on hold or you're gonna sit there for like an hour and a half because all the tows are busy. And I was like, oh, great. And he's like, is that okay? I was like, no, but it has to be. So get off the phone and I'm like all pissed off. I'm freezing and I call my mom and luckily she had the day off of work. I don't know. It was what holiday is in the winter? Memorial Day? I don't even know. No, President's Day. I don't know those holidays. One of them. So she thankfully had the day off and she's like, all right, I'll get there as soon as I can. So I'm like, great. Thanks. And all of a sudden, the 50 ounces of water that I had drank hit me. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do about that? So I'm freaking out. I call my mom. I'm like, Mom, I have to pee. She's like, okay, calm down. Like, do you have anything in the car that you could use? So I'm like looking around and I see like 40 water bottles empty. I'm like, yeah, great. I'll call you back. So she's like, yeah, let me know how it goes. So, like, my mom's always telling me to clean out my car, and obviously that's not a good idea because I wouldn't have been able to pee in the bottle. So I'm like, "Ah, good job, me. Good job for being messy." So I grab a water bottle and I take off my huge winter coat because I want to like make a blockade on the window so that people driving by don't see me peeing. And so I'm like squatting over this water bottle and I'm letting it out and I was like, "Oh, thank you." So it's in the water bottle and I'm like really proud of myself. It's like, "Wow, this isn't easy for girls. Way to go." So I sit down and it was very warm and very wet when I sat down. So I was like, are you kidding? I did not want to get up and look, but I had to. So I get up and yeah, there was pee everywhere. I obviously missed the bottle a little because I was peeing out like 1,000 ounces of water. So it was like overflow. So it's all over my coat, it's all over my jacket, it's all over my shirt, it's all over my pants. 22 years old and I urinated all over myself. So now at this point, I'm like crying and I was like, Mom! Like I had to turn in a paper and my professor was really, really, really crazy about turning in a hard copy on time or else she didn't accept it. So I was freaking out. I call my mom, I tell her what happened, and she's like, okay, I'll get there as soon as I can. So I'm sitting there and now I'm really cold because my pee got really cold and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, great, like, who's gonna show up first, the toe or my mom? Either way, this is so embarrassing. It stinks in here, and I didn't know. I don't know. There's nothing to clean my car. There's nothing in the car to clean the urine up with. No tissues, no nothing. So my mom gets there first, and she's just like, oh my god, she gets some tissues. We try to clean it up. The tow guy comes, and it was 2 hours that it took them to get there. So I'm like, wow, this is so embarrassing. I walk out of the car. I'm not wearing my coat, which looks so stupid, but it was all over my coat. And it obviously looks like I peed myself all over my pants. So I'm in public, looking like a fool. And the tow guy's just like, oh, hi. Okay, I'm gonna tow your car now. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go cry again. So, I never made it to school, obviously. I didn't make it to the bathroom, obviously, but there is a moral to the story. Yes. Number one, when you are trying to increase your water intake, do it in small increments. So if you drink like 4 glasses a day, increase it to 5 for a few days, then increase it to 6 for a few days because your body takes a while to get used to it. It doesn't handle the major change very well. Number two, only drink a lot of water when you know that you can pee. And okay, truthfully, if I had not had a car accident, well, if my car didn't break down, I would have made it to Kent in time and I would not have peed myself, but still, an hour drive is not a good time to, drink 50 ounces of water. And another tip is that you've heard of, you're supposed to drink 64 ounces a day. Well, that's the 8 by 8 rule, 8 ounce glasses of water a day. But that is the minimum amount that your body needs to maintain its bodily functions. But I'm sure most of you walk around and a lot of you probably exercise, so you definitely need more than 64 ounces. And if you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. It's not like hunger. You're supposed to not feel thirsty throughout the day. And you could also look at your pee. So if your urine is towards the dark yellow side, you're definitely dehydrated. But if it's towards the light yellow and white side, you're good. Um, Also, make sure you drink at least 8 ounces of water before you work out, and then drink a lot after you work out. I use water bottles that are big, like 24 to 32 ounces, and they have the notches with the ounces and milliliters on them. So that's a fun way to like keep track of how much water you're drinking. And if you think water is boring, and I get bored of it sometimes too, I like to spice it up by adding fruit. So I would do like lemons and limes and put them in there, and some mint sometimes. I know mint's not a fruit, but I would just let them soak overnight in a pitcher, and then the next day the water tastes like whatever you put in it. Also, you could buy flavored water. I recommend sparkling water that has natural sweeteners because artificial sweeteners have been proven to raise your blood pressure or your blood sugar just as much or maybe even more than actual sugar. I know it sucks, but yeah. So those are my tips. I hope you enjoyed my story. I sure didn't, but I love to share it to help people benefit and learn the moral of the story, which is drink more water, but do it in a smart way. So, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you next time.